I've got one flower platter order for you. On your platter today, you have 2 rose varieties, some thyme flowers, calendula, snapdragon, and some kale flowers. Enjoy your meal. Thank you very much. I asked myself the question, are kale flowers edible? And I assumed they were, but I assumed kale flowers were edible, but I did double check with Google just to make sure, because Google knows everything. That's a fact. So this is my first time ever taste testing kale flowers, and I'm going to share that experience with you. I'm going to go for one individual flower first. Oh wow, that is an interesting flavor. It starts out really mellow when you first start to taste it, and it gets strong really fast, but in an interesting way. I need to have another one to give you a better description. Here's my second kale flower. I would describe it as it starts out mild and then it gets very tangy. I don't know how else you would put it, but it's delicious. I think this would be awesome in a salad. If I was to compare the taste of these kale flowers to any other flower that I've tasted, I would say they're quite similar to nasturtium. Not as spicy, but these flowers give me nasturtium taste vibes. That's what I'm getting when I eat these. Yeah, it's not peppery. Peppery isn't the right word, but there's something tangy about them. Very delicious, probably super delicious in a salad. So this just gave me more inspiration for my salads. I'm a huge salad eater, so I'm so glad that I decided to sample these flowers. Next, we are going to be harvesting some chamomile flowers. I've had chamomile tea before in my life. I have never taste tested a chamomile flower before. Let's do a little chamomile flower picking and a taste test. Here are some of my chamomile flowers from last season. They came back. We're just going to pick one chamomile flower for today's taste test. Next, we are going to be taste testing this little chamomile flower that I just picked. This is my first time ever eating a chamomile flower, and I'm quite intrigued to see what it's going to taste like. Oh my god. Wow. Wow. This is... Whoa. Not what I expected. Yeah. That chamomile flower was honestly so strong. It was really weird, the flavor, if I was to describe it. Now, this is definitely my own personal sense of taste. I would say it's a cross between extremely flavorful and extremely toxic. Like, that's what the flavor tastes like to me. I don't know how else to describe it. Part of me loves it, and part of me was like, I need to spit this out ASAP. I don't really know how to categorize it. Very strong would be the best description I can give compared to any other edible flower I have tried. It is definitely the strongest. Not spicy, but in a very, it's not a spicy flavor. It's a very potent flavor. Yeah, I think you're either gonna love it or hate it, and I am kind of in the middle. Oh, this guy is going for pumpkin Big Macs, and I'm not okay with that. While we're doing our taste test, he is trying to get into trouble. I just did some harvesting in my garden, and I've got another flower that I did a taste test on for the first time. I added it to my green salads, and I'm going to show you what it looks like and do a little taste test. This is your standard onion flower. It is so gorgeous, kind of resembles an allium, but this is no allium. This is edible. This is a real onion. We're going to do a little taste test on this onion. I literally did just try it before I turned the camera on, so this is not my first try. This is my second try ever eating basically an onion flower, but you're only eating individual little, is the camera even going to focus on this? You're only eating these tiny little individual flowers from this massive flower, one at a time. I mean, you could have a mouthful, but they're so delicious. Very oniony, almost more oniony than if you were eating the onion itself. Very powerful, but very delicious. These are going to make my salads so flavorful. I think they would go well in probably stir fries and other vegetable cooked dishes, but definitely going to be great in salads, and maybe there's other things I could use them with. If you've got any ideas on what I could use this for other than just some salads, let me know down below in the comments. What would you use an onion flower for? Next, we are going to be taste testing a flower I had no idea was edible. In case you're wondering, I definitely am having some water between sampling different flowers to try to cleanse my palate. We are going to harvest one of these beautiful blooms. Kind of sad to do, but they are beautiful, and I hope they taste just as beautiful as they look. That is delicious. Almost has a slightly sweet flavor to it. Slightly tangy, but more of a mellowy tangy than some other flowers. That was super delicious. Out of all the flower taste tests I've done, between pansies, onion flowers, chamomile, kale flowers, nasturtium flowers, and any other flower I've tasted, definitely one of the best. Nasturtiums are my favorite, and I would say snapdragons are probably my second favorite so far. We've got a few more flowers to taste test, so let's keep going. For our next taste test, we are harvesting this gorgeous creeping thyme flower. So let's pick a nice plump flower. Here is the creeping thyme flower I'm going to taste test. Oh my goodness, this is delicious too. If you think of the flavor of the regular thyme here, these leaves that you would find in your spice cupboard, if you're tasting the flower, you could multiply the potency of a regular thyme sprig by about 10, and that to me is the essence of the thyme flower. It is very similar to the herb itself, much stronger. It's pretty delicious though. I think this would be much better in a cooked dish versus raw, but definitely add some creeping thyme flowers to your cooking if you have it available. Probably be an amazing addition to poultry dishes. We are going to taste test a few flowers that are so beautiful it almost seems shameful or sinful to actually indulge in these and eat them. Here is my iceberg rose that I planted earlier in the spring. We are going to try one of these beautiful white blossoms. We are going to start with this white colored rose. Just going to pick one individual petal from this flower and give this a taste test. Oh, wow. mildly strong, kind of a weird way to describe it. I'm gonna try one more and see if I can give you a better description. I would say there's a little bit of tanginess to this. I don't know how else you would describe it. It's not a strong tanginess, like the chamomile was insanely tangy and had that very toxic slash tasty. It's not like that. It's a mild flavor, a mild tangy flavor. That's an oxymoron, I'm sure, but here is my double pink knockout rose. We are going to try one of these as well. Next, we are going to taste test this knockout rose, and I am super curious if different roses have very different flavors. I have a lot of roses in my garden, so if I discover there's a stark difference between these two different roses, then I may do a whole video devoted to taste testing different rose varieties, because I think that would be super cool if there's a big difference. But this is my first time ever tasting this type of rose, and the iceberg rose was my first time ever tasting a rose. Let's try one of these knockout roses and see how they taste. Beautiful petal right there. Oh yeah. This tastes better than this. This almost has a slightly fruity taste. And yeah, I get almost like a punch from it, like a fruity punchy taste. I really like it. This one, honestly not my favorite, but definitely a significant difference in taste between these two rose varieties. So I will be doing a future rose tasting video where I taste test just roses, different varieties, to see what kind of differences there are in flavor. We are going to do a little calendula harvest. Here's the calendula flower I just picked. And let's give this flower a taste test. I think the calendula is sticking to my teeth. The little petals, it feels like they're stuck right in between my teeth. I think I'm not wrong about that. I would describe this flower as tasting very mellow. I quite like it actually. Compared to all the flowers I taste tested today, it is definitely mellow. I swear this little bird is singing to my garden supervisor. Zipper is super fascinated by it. It is literally right above his head, singing a little tune. How cute. Oh, there's two of them here. Interesting. We're going to be taste testing a strawberry flower. Right here, this tiny little flower is on a strawberry plant, and it's supposed to be edible. So let's give it a try. This strawberry flower is so tiny right here, and we are going to give it a taste test. The first word that comes to my mind when I taste this flower is blend. It's not bad, but this flower really doesn't have that much flavor compared to all the other flowers I've sampled. It's a mellow flower, and I do kind of like that actually. Thank you so much for watching my edible flower taste test. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd love to see more similar content in the future. And let me know down in the comments section if you have ever taste tested any edible flowers and what varieties have you tried. I'm curious to know what other types of flowers are delicious or not delicious, or do you put them in a salad or a dish, a cooking dish? Let me know down in the comments if you've ever eaten flowers before. Wishing you some lovely summer weather and a good dose of rain. We could all use a little more rain. Bye for now.